use your own discernment, always do your own research.
Scientists are now saying that the Earth might have a lot more land than we thought. For decades, people have been debating about if the Earth is flat or round, but maybe they have been focused on the wrong aspect this entire time. People are now saying that the Earth contains way more than just 7 continents, and that Antarctica is actually a giant wall of ice that separates us from the rest of them. That's why the militaries of every country protect Antarctica from the public. Past this ice wall, there's apparently 20 other continents that have been hidden from us our entire lives. This is backed up by many old maps. There's theories that these continents are home to hyper-advanced societies with technology we couldn't imagine, and that the 7 continents that we inhabit are actually a massive money and energy farm controlled by the elites from beyond the ice wall. So while people are focused on arguing over the shape of the Earth, we're being deceived and farmed for money and energy. This is all just one big crazy conspiracy, but apparently
Antarctica is one of the last remaining continental mysteries in our world today. And it's fascinating because the truth is we really don't know as the general public and in open peer-reviewed literature. They're not talking about it very much. What we do know is that with the oncoming of climate change, as the ice has begun to melt, the satellites have begun to reveal structures, complex architectural structures poking up through the ice. And these aren't primitive, huts and, hunting villages. These are massive, complex structures. When we're looking at the satellite images from Antarctica, what we see are these massive structures of square rooms, square buildings, all 90-degree angles. They are not a fluke of nature. And the reason this is a problem is because the ice age peaked about 20,000 years ago. This implies one of two things. Either the structures were built in the ice during the ice age, which is pretty unlikely. You don't see people doing a lot of that, or the structures existed before the ice was there.
Asking AI what's beyond the ice wall in it.
One thing that I gotta say is, man, where the hell they get them images from, man? Like, where the AI just come up with this idea to come up with these images of wherever this place is, supposedly, AI generated images of the other side of the ice wall or whatever, but that's too, definitive, you just, kind of know, that's what the other side of the ice wall looks like, because, I don't know, where you get the idea, of that, design and everything, the infrastructure, everything, how everything look. How do you know this? How does AI know that that's could be a possibility that's how that looks? That's something to make your mind wonder if you get it. You know what I mean? If you get what I'm trying to say. Something to think about, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about that down below in the comment section, because that's a little spooky right there. Maybe there's something like that on the other side of the ice wall. First off, how many of y'all do and don't believe about the ice, believe in the ice wall? Let me know down below in the comments.
A massive ice wall appeared in the Pacific Ocean that should not exist. Just 4 days ago, a group of sailors were taking one of the new ships for a test swim. They planned to take a 1-week journey on the ship, but as they got further into the ocean, they witnessed the impossible. They saw a massive iceberg as tall as the pyramids themselves. As the sailors got closer, they realized that it was no ordinary iceberg. It was an entire ice wall. The wall stretched as far as the crew could see. What's even weirder is they had never seen this ice wall despite traveling across this exact path hundreds of times. They began following one side of the wall for 4 days, but no end was seen. This is when they received a radio message stating, "You are approaching the property of the state. Turn back now or we will use force." The crew, obviously terrified, turned around and headed home. However, when they reached land, something incredibly weird was going on. They had left from the coast of Costa Rica but had emerged all the way in Greenland. How is this possible? They thought. Then it hit them. The flat Earth might be real after all. The sailors managed to capture some photos of the ice wall, to see them click on share, then more and then photos.
Now this is crazy. So, There's a mind-boggling theory that suggests governments might be hiding something massive from us. They say that behind the colossal ice wall of the Arctic, there's a whole new world that they don't want us to know about. So here's the deal. The Arctic, as we know it, is a place of extreme cold and mystery. But what if it's more than that? What if it's a well-protected secret? There have been reports of compasses going berserk, unexplained magnetic anomalies, and aircraft facing bizarre navigation issues up there. It's almost like they're trying to keep us away from something. But here's where it gets even crazier. There are ancient maps, like the Piri Reis map, that hint at lands beyond the Arctic. The theory suggests that world governments are actively concealing this information. Here's the big twist. Beyond the Arctic ice wall lies an entirely new world, complete with its own ecosystems, climate, and maybe even advanced civilizations, and they want to keep it under wraps. It's like the ultimate conspiracy theory. I'm not here to convince you that this is true, but I do think it's important to keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep an open mind. After all, science is all about discovery, and there's still so much we don't know about our world. Could it be that the Earth is way bigger and more astonishing than we've ever imagined?
First off, man, I hope that was the real Joe Rogan and not the AI version. Second off, man, how many of y'all out there think there's more land out there than we were told, or, you know what I'm saying, in the school system, in the history books, you know, in the matrix system? Y'all let me know down below, man. Y'all think there's other realms and lands out there that we were, you know what I'm saying, lied to about?
You're not even ready to imagine the craziness we're in right now. Antarctica is the most mysterious continent in the world. A new theory is so crazy that it could completely change your perception of the Earth. According to this theory, Antarctica is not just a massive ice continent, but rather an enormous ice wall that surrounds all the continents. In 1992, a new world map was created, the Gleon map, which shows Antarctica encircling all our continents. This theory goes even further. Some believe that if we manage to cross this wall, we will encounter numerous other continents deliberately hidden from us by governments.
Man, boy, this ice wall theory, man, is something serious, ain't it? Hey, I'm just playing. Nah, but for real though, man, y'all think it's really ice wall out there? What? No, that's something to think about. Because if it's an ice wall, it's a flat earth. If it's a flat earth, maybe there's an ice wall too, and a whole bunch of other things out there that could be true. That's what they want to hide, man. You know, they tell us it's a flat earth, there's ice walls and all that. It's a whole bunch of other stuff that they have to come out and, you know what I'm saying, come out and say was true too, that they've been lying to.
This is what's actually behind the ice wall in Antarctica.
We all know the Earth is actually... Okay, nah, we're not doing that. What? Yeah, we're doing this? For real? Why do I have to be that guy? What is beyond the ice wall of Antarctica? Disclaimer, obviously a theory and should be considered for entertainment purposes only. Yes, this is the ridiculous Earth plane theory, or at least a part of it. Now, personally, I think this map is complete bullcrap. There's just countless evidence that goes against it. Before ever even considering a theory, you always need to look for some sort of tangible proof. And these mysterious blue shards reported in a leak from Antarctic research labs are a little more revealing. They were leaked by this helicopter engineer who was contracted to work at McMurdo Station in Antarctica from 1997 to the year 2000. And if you don't know, McMurdo Station is usually where shit goes down. So this engineer, let's call him Jimmy Boy, claimed that he befriended a few of the scientists doing research there in 1998. The scientists told him that they had two types of ice they worked with down there. There was this ice that they drilled cores out of boreholes in the ground that was cold to the touch, usually clear or some shade of white, and melted into water. Almost all of Antarctica is covered with this type of ice, which is just normal ice. Clearly, this wasn't their main focus of research. The only times they ever actively study this ice is when film crews from like National Geographic came down to film a documentary. The other 95% of the time, they studied the forbidden sky ice, totally different than the ice that we're used to. Jimmy wasn't allowed in the labs where they studied sky ice because it was, you know, super duper top secret. But one time, one of the scientists he got close with showed him a piece of the ice, and it was unlike any other matter he's ever seen on Earth. First of all, you couldn't touch it with your bare hands and had to wear your heavy heavy-duty South Pole exploration gloves when holding it because of how cold it was. Secondly, as you can tell, it was this solid deep blue color, allegedly composed mainly of oxygen, and is why they called it sky ice. And oh man, I haven't even scratched the surface of how deep this goes. Oxygen has a freezing point of about negative 218 degrees Celsius, which is when it turns into a solid, so you'd practically get frostbite just by looking at it. Jimmy held it for a bit with his gloves, of course, noting that it was lighter than regular ice, almost like he could have thrown it up in the air and it would have floated back down. It was also slightly flexible and completely opaque, so you couldn't see through it at all. And it didn't even melt into water when it got warm, but just continually shrank until it ceased to exist, likely turning directly into oxygen gas, which is why they had to study it in Antarctica. They couldn't even transport it to anywhere in the world before it disappeared. The Russians knew about this too, and it's part of the reason they all have research stations down there. After 15 minutes or so, the sky ice was almost completely gone, and Jimmy asks his research friend where they even get this ice from. And this is where it gets interesting, because to that, the scientist replied they get it from the wall. According to him, if you go deep enough, hundreds of kilometers inland from the coast, you'll run into a huge wall in Antarctica that contains this sky ice, the biggest natural structure in the world. This sounds a lot like the infamous ice wall from the pancake Earth theory, which states there's a giant wall of ice that surrounds our entire planet, and there's even more land beyond this wall if you somehow manage to get past it, including the legendary lands of Atlantis, Mu, the Garden of Eden, and even Asgard. Obviously just an incredible stretch of a theory, but interesting to see the ice wall mentioned in a scientific setting here. Now buckle in, because this is where it actually gets insane, in case you felt like it wasn't already. The US has known about this sky ice for decades, and back in the 60s they actually tried boring a tunnel through the ice wall. They built a special boring machine made for the super cold temperatures of the sky ice wall and started digging. For the first 2 miles or so, the floor was solid rock, but after that, even the ground under them became the bright blue sky ice, until they got about 5 to 10 miles deep after an entire year of boring, which is pretty damn far and still no sight of the other side. When they realized the tunnel was shrinking and eventually got so small that they could barely even move their machine anymore. Turns out sky ice, when exposed to warmer temperatures, just dissipates into thin air, but in colder temperatures, like inside the tunnel, it regenerates itself. Eventually, the tunnel got so tight it became too difficult to continue boring, so they scrapped the project, ditched the machine, and after many decades, the hole they dug into the wall has now been completely sealed. Now, some people say this sky ice wall sounds almost exactly like what would be called the dome or the firmament in the horizontal earth, or at least fragments of it, and even the most popular book in the world had something to say about it. Ezekiel 1:26 reads, "And above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone." Now, whether you believe in the Bible or not, we can all agree it is by definition a historic text that was written sometime in history. Firmament over their heads, appearance of a sapphire stone. I mean, I really don't want to believe this is true, and who knows, maybe this entire sky ice Antarctica story is just completely made up, but as always, what if?
Woo! Boy, that boy said a lot right there in that clip. Sky ice, sapphire blue, frozen oxygen, firmament in the sky. Oh man, this is getting crazy, man. And in another video, I also heard that sky ice, aka what they say, that Formula 115 or 155. Y'all correct me down below in the comment section. I think it was 115. What Bob Lazar was talking about, element 115. I mean, yeah. They said it's a mixture of that, or maybe that's what that is. It's that oxygen and that and some other gas or something like that, or a mixture of that element and oxygen. I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's a deep rabbit hole, man. But it goes deep. Maybe the next video will be about that. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. Should the next reaction video be about the sapphire blue sky ice or not? Let me know down below in the comment section, y'all.
I have just come into contact with someone who has a relative in the military who's stationed over in Antarctica, and they claim that they were flying drones all around the area when they found some green habitable land that has a city on it. And apparently it looks a lot like this supposed leaked photo that I found earlier. Now, I have no idea how to tell if this image is real or fake. I posted it on my TikTok a while ago and people thought it was interesting. But the military officers said that the buildings they saw on the drone footage looked a lot like the ones in this photo. They were all egg-shaped. And I don't know about you, but I've never seen buildings like this anywhere else. Also, the person who told me about all of this said that they spoke to their relative for only a brief moment about this, and that they haven't seen him in a while, but when they do meet up again, he's going to ask him more about this, and he's going to get back to me and let me know what he's heard about him. But it makes me wonder, maybe there actually is habitable land over in Antarctica, and that's why all these different nations always have their military down there and are keeping it so secure.
Woo! Where the hell they come up with some egg-shaped type structures like that? Do y'all believe there's other structures and other realms and people on the other side of the ice realm, even if there is an ice realm, or ice wall, I should say? Y'all let me know down below in the comment section, because it's getting a little spooky, man. There's a lot of people out here that believe in this theory, man, just like the flat earth theory, man. Y'all let me know, y'all flat earthers or round earthers, man. You know, let me know. Bald head guy, bald guys.
Hey, what's up, guys? So I was watching Simpsons last night because my wife's like, I want to watch all the 34 seasons. You can say my brain starts short-circuiting. But anyways, we start.
Oh boy, Robin say like, damn, boy, it was hell. He tired. He rubbing his eye like, man, I stayed up all night watching
season 34, working our way back. Anyways, I got to like one of these episodes. Can't remember what, episode 6, episode 7 of 34. But take a look at this and tell me what you think. And I'm gonna show you something at the end of this video. Here.
Y'all, that is not my background music. I did not add that background music. This is, you know, I could not edit the sound and turn the Simpsons up without, you know, and delete the background music without deleting the other audio of the Simpsons. So y'all, my bad.
Look at all the different lands. Futurama, Family Guy, South Park, all of them. Now, it's a little crazy here because I'm going to show you something.
Treehouse of Horror in the books.
Okay, so I'm not saying that's what the Simpsons said, you know, but when you look at this, does make you wonder. And I know that they're trying to mimic Westworld with the different worlds, you know, and I get it, but these are different worlds. They're all circles. They're all encompassed in a covering or a dome, very much like those where you can see them bust out of the dome that they're in. I don't know, man. I don't know. Looks very similar to me. What do you guys think, man? Let me know what you think on that one. Because, I don't know. I think it's the same. I think Simpsons is showing us what our world really looks like. Alright, guys. Take care.
Y'all let me know. Y'all think he on to something or not? Because that's what they saying. Like, this flat earth, you know, theory, you know, that's saying it's a flat earth map. And it's like, basically beyond the ice wall, that's what's going on, man. It's the realms of the worlds, you know what I'm saying? The supposed outer space is beyond the ice wall, and it's other realms and stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know if I believe that. But y'all let me know what y'all think down below in the comment section, you know? I got to see it with my own two eyes. And then still, I might not even all the way believe it, you know? But hey, like I say, you never know. Let me know, though, what y'all think.
Things humans weren't meant to see.
Recently has been going viral the possibility of an ice wall surrounding our planet, and now scientists have found some kind of proof, as these biblical stones are coming out everywhere, and what this means for our world is terrifying. People were shocked after blue stones, referring to sky ice, were discovered in Antarctica. These stones resemble the same objects that Ezekiel mentions in the Bible, claiming what the firmament or the dome of the earth is made of, saying the firmament material would appear like sapphire or blue stone. But how this was found is even more insane, as decades ago, a scientist leaked info about the discovery of sky ice after years of research in Antarctica, claiming that the government has sealed all this away, knowing this could lead to terrifying changes in our planet and science, with him saying that the government had found an entire ice wall made out of the biblical sky ice, the same ice wall that the pancake Earth believers say is in Antarctica, possibly proving that the Earth may be a lot bigger with many more continents than we could ever know on the other side. With any scientific discovery, we need to look at the concrete evidence, and satellite images still point to a frisbee Earth not existing, and likely nothing beyond an ice wall. But wouldn't it be crazy?
Okay, y'all, one thing to think about is if this is allegedly, if this is true, what reason would they have to hide it from us? What are they gaining? What would they have to gain to hide that from us and to keep it from us for this long and tell us that the world is round and not flat? Let me know down below. What do y'all think? You know, why would they hide it from us?
You're gonna want to see this. Stretching off into the horizon, we have one of the largest tabular icebergs currently on our planet. It just keeps going. Something this big is kind of hard to comprehend, even when it's right.
Hey man, that look like an ice wall to me. Y'all let me know what you think. Maybe that's Photoshop, CGI.
In front of you, but this speaks to how much fresh, frozen water is down in the Southern Ocean. For anyone wanting some perspective, take a look at the birds that are flying next to this thing. It's probably about 200 feet high, and that's just about 50% of what's sticking out of the water. The rest is down below, like an ice wall, drifting through the ocean, currently heading east toward the South Orkney Islands. Kind of wouldn't believe it if...
Right. I didn't see no guards number. He said, I seen the captain that said guarded heavily like Area 51. Why would it be guarded heavily like Area 51? That's one question to ask yourself. Two, in other videos I seen, they did say it was about 150 feet high or so. That's how he said it was probably about 200 feet high. The rest is below the water, which is true. If so, that's high, man. That's real high, and that's what, you know, people want to prove to see, you know, with their own eyes. Well, I'm saying, you know, with their own eyes, they weren't there, but you know, with the video proof that the ice wall does exist. People think about Game of Thrones, man. Why would they put that in Game of Thrones? You know, the ice wall. It's just something to think about. Like I always say, it's nothing's a coincidence. They always put it in the movies, y'all. You got to stay on point. You know what I'm saying? Always be paying attention, man, for real, and use your brain.
Apparently, there's a huge wall of sky ice in Antarctica. He said it was hundreds of miles inland from the coast. I never got to see it myself because I was only, and then I'm going to skip forward, stationed to McMurdo. I didn't get to go out on expeditions. He said it was the biggest natural structure in the world. Imagine that. He said that in the 1960s, the U.S. Army had a plan to bore a tunnel into the wall, but they didn't have a boring machine that could handle the super cold temperatures, so they had a whole testing project in Greenland where they developed ice tunnels and invented new boring machines that could operate in super cold temperatures. So this was back when they were going into forming NASA and all the other things that were kind of strange, the Antarctic Treaty, around that time, pretty close to it. And he says, like they did this whole big thing in Greenland for just practice. So it was like they were practicing to bore into the sky ice. I'm not an expert on that, but that's just what he told me. Then, once they had the new boring machine figured out, they brought it to the ice wall, or to the wall in Antarctica. He said that the machine bored a tunnel. I don't remember exactly, it was like 5 or 10 miles into the wall, but that they never broke through the other side of the wall, and that they still don't know how thick the wall is even to this day. And I'm probably not remembering this part correctly, but I think he said that at first the floor of the tunnel was solid rock, but after a mile or two in, the floor was sky ice, like it was sky ice underneath after a certain point, or something like that. And apparently the wall slowly builds itself back up. So it slowly builds itself back up after you cut it, because after a year or so, the tunnel had shrunk smaller all by itself, like a self-healing wound. It starts closing up. They had to leave the boring machine inside the wall because the tunnel shrunk too small to get it back out. And after a few decades, the tunnel was completely gone. Like the part of the wall was solid again. He said that now the scientists were trying to use technology to figure out how thick the wall is. He said something about putting earthquake sensors all along the wall, and that somehow you could measure the signal from an earthquake to see how thick the wall is. But he kind of lost me on that part. I never really thought about any of that after I left. It was really weird stuff, but I didn't think it was a big deal at the time. But then a few weeks ago, I saw a map of the wall in Antarctica, except the map was all flat and crazy looking, and it showed the wall going all the way up over the whole Earth. So since then, I've been trying to learn more about the sky ice that I saw. I've been trying to learn more about the sky ice that I saw and the wall that I heard about, but I can't find anything at all. So now I'm really wondering if there could be a connection here. And that's how I found this group. So I hope that maybe some part of my experience will help someone figure something out. Well, thankful to that person. If they were telling the truth, that is some very interesting information given what we know surrounds us. We know that the firmament's not just made out of ice. It's something special. That could just be something near the foundation to prevent you from going all the way to it. The Father's design is very complex, and he has foreknowledge. He knows what mankind's going to try to do. Those little nuclear bombs they shot at the firmament was nothing to the firmament. They can't break it. They've tried. If they could, they would, but they can't.
Y'all don't let that go over y'all head. Y'all heard them say them nuclear bombs, allegedly that they shot at the firmament, that y'all thought it was rockets that they was trying to go out of space with, man. Don't forget that, man. They can't go out of space. Out of space to them is in the atmosphere still. It's not out there way out there, light years away. Oh, man, the planet Neptune. Nah, man, that's a luminary, man. It says it in the good book in the Bible. It's a luminary, man. They say that allegedly there's no landing on it, When I don't know, man. They be telling y'all they going to the moon and all this stuff, and y'all believe them. But yet they still ain't showed you no video of them touching the moon and leaving Earth orbit and coming back to Earth orbit and showing you a video of Earth from the moon, of them standing on the moon. They can't show you that. Just think about that. Put that in your head, Never let them pull the wool over your eyes, y'all. For real, man. Let me know what y'all think about that clip down below in the comment section, though. That's crazy, man. Shooting nuclear weapons.
And this is just one of those stories that confirms a lot of what I had assumed would be going on. I always thought, man, if they are out there and they can go to it, they're probably trying to drill through it. And if they are, how have they not gotten through it already? And that would answer the question for you, because it closes up as you go through it. But this was back in the 60s. There's no telling what they're trying now. Mostly guarding it. I'm sure that's the biggest job they have, is keeping us from going there. And if you do go there, you can only go to certain places. It is tens of thousands of dollars for a one-way ticket. Otherwise, many of us would have already gone there, tried to do some sneaking around and investigating. But this video here, it only had like 300 views. But really cool stuff. Wanted to pass this along. I know the days of censorship have it to where you can't find stuff like this anymore. And I remembered putting it in my Firmament playlist. I just wasn't sure if you guys had heard about this and wanted to pass it along to you. Answers some questions that most of you, if you're like me, had about what's going on out there and what are some of the properties near the foundation of the firmament, if they're even close to it. Could go on like that for many, many miles. Who knows? We'll find out soon someday. The firmament itself will roll away like a scroll. But that second day of creation, where he put this expanse for signs and for seasons, and letting us know that he will return very soon. And it's one of those things that we're sensing is right around the corner due to the way things are going in the world and what they're trying to prepare us for and all the division. But they're preparing for a war. I'll go over that in a little while in another video, what they're preparing for and how you can be prepared yourself to not fall for the deceptions to come. But see you guys around soon. I know that this is a random video and I'm just trying to put this stuff out there and stop procrastinating and share the information that I have.
Y'all heard them say, don't fall for the deception, man. They're preparing for a war. Yeah, a war against who? A war with who? A war against the people. A war against us. A war against the conspiracy theorists. A war against God's children. A war against God. That's who the war is for, and that's who they're preparing to go to war against. That's who the war, it's a battle. It's a battle brewing. Yeah. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all can feel it in your heart. Y'all can feel it deep inside like I can. I have for a while now. You know, I've been knowing for a while now. You know, there's probably a bunch of us out there. We've been knowing we had a bigger purpose out here and that we were meant to be part of this. You know, the end. The beginning of the end, you know. Those who have those connections, you always been tapped in and connected, man. They have those visions all your life. You know what I mean, if you know what I mean. Let me know down below what y'all think about that. And if you know what I mean, you could tap
the flat
in.
Earth ice wall, they call it Antarctica.
There you go, sky ice. Man, y'all hear how delicate it is, man. It's like, in a way, it's like some like glass or some like some rock candy or something. Like it's strong but real. It's like real brittle. That's the word I'm looking for. It's real brittle. Yeah, it's beautiful, but it looks like it's real brittle. It's crazy. It looks pure blue though. That's a beautiful color, sapphire blue. Sapphire blue.
They took cores
Shout
of it
out to them.
out of boreholes in the ground. Just like normal ice, it was mostly clear and sometimes white, and it would melt into liquid water if it got warm. The whole area of Antarctica is covered in this kind of ice.
Hold up. Pay attention, man, because another clip I've heard that they said that the skies, when it melts, it gets smaller and smaller until it disappears or evaporates. That it doesn't even melt into water, but you got different people talking about different stuff. Maybe one person got bamboozled and didn't really have the real sky ice like he
But
thought
that
he did.
wasn't their main kind of ice. The only time I ever saw them actually studying normal ice was when a film crew from National Geographic came by. The rest of the time, which was most of the time, the scientists were studying something they called sky ice. This stuff was totally different. We were never allowed to go into the laboratory areas of the station because the labs had to be kept super clean, and they said it would mess up their work if they risked letting too many people in the lab. But one time, one of the researchers that I was friends with showed me a piece of sky ice. You couldn't touch the stuff with your bare hands because it was so cold. And it wasn't clear or white like normal ice. It was solid blue. he said. That's why they call it sky ice, because it was the exact same color as the sky. We had to wear thick, heavy going outside gloves to handle it. The stuff was so cold, it would instantly freeze your skin if you touched it. I don't remember what the temperature he said it was, but it was something like hundreds of degrees below zero, way colder than the normal ice that was outside. He had to carry it in a metal bottle that was kind of like a thermos. He let me play with the piece of it for a while. It felt lighter than a piece of normal ice of the same size, like it wasn't very heavy at all. It almost felt like you could throw it up in the air and it would just float back down. But I didn't try that. And it was also a little flexible when I tried to bend it. It didn't break like normal ice would. And even for a small piece, you could see through it. It was solid blue right from the surface. And here's the really weird part. It didn't melt into water. When it got warm, because we had it inside, it just started to shrink. It got smaller and smaller, but my glove never got wet. And there was no water on the floor. The stuff just turned into thin air when it got warm and vaporized. He said that was the reason why they had to study the stuff right there in Antarctica. You couldn't take the sky ice back to America to study it because it was almost impossible to keep it cold enough during transit. And then they shared a verse right here where it says, "And above the firmament that was over their heads was the likeness of a throne, as the appearance of a sapphire stone. And upon the likeness of the throne was the likeness as the appearance of a man above upon it." And then we continue off where it says, "It would always vaporize into air, and you'd have nothing left when you got back to the U.S., he said. Russian scientists had discovered the same problem when they tried to take the ice back to Russia. So that was why they all had research stations in Antarctica. After maybe 15 minutes of handling the piece of sky ice, it was almost completely gone. Just a tiny little bit was left, and my glove was dry the whole.
Don't believe the lies about sky ice, y'all. When y'all research sky ice, they say it's a form of pure oxygen. If it was oxygen, it wouldn't be a solid, it'd be a gas, because oxygen is just air, it's oxygen. Okay, so what sky ice really is a combination of element 115 and oxygen. Just like when you combine hydrogen and oxygen, they're two gases, you combine them together, you get a liquid. Okay, you combine element 115 with oxygen, you get a solid. That's what the firmament's made of. Okay, it's a form of nuclear energy, this element 115. Bob Lazar said it wasn't from this world. That's all a lie. We live in a closed system. It's on this world or it wouldn't exist, period. Y'all got to think about this. They always feed us, they allegedly feed us these narratives, and they'll be so opposed to each other that we're all going to take one side, and we become so emotional over the sides, and we become so into it that we never even think about the fact that neither one of the narratives they give us is true, y'all. That way we don't see what's really true over here on the side. We'll never think about that as long as we're arguing about the other two narratives that they fed us, y'all. Bob Lazar started blowing the lid off of it, but just like with everything else, man, if you put the entire truth out there, they'll wipe you out, and the truth leaves with you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling y'all, go research the sky ice. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. They say it's a form of pure oxygen. So it's either oxygen or it's not oxygen, and oxygen is a gas. It's not a solid. The firmament is a solid. There's pictures of it. Those scientists handling it. It's a dark, dark blue. Element 115, y'all. Research. Think about all the videos where everybody does all the work to prove to us that if a body of any kind was in a craft like that going that fast, the G-forces would turn us into jelly. And they talk about this gravitational wave, you know, that the element 115 creates. That's what it's all about, y'all. That element 115. That's why they won't let us go up there. Allegedly. So they get y'all thinking about these lands out here and arguing whether or not there's lands and whether or not there's a wall. That's to keep y'all looking over here at these two narratives when the truth's right over here. It's all about that element 115. That's where all the free energy stuff comes from. And that's where, see, think about what I'm saying. If we had this element, if they would let us use this element 115, we wouldn't. I mean, think about the economy, y'all. Probably 65% of what you take out of your paycheck, you spend out of your paycheck, goes towards energy, gas, oil, heating your house. Think about it, y'all. Comedy, satire, educational, entertainment purposes only, purely speculation, opinion only. But it's real, y'all. I'm serious. I only say that so I don't take the videos down. Made a video last week. It had 160,000 views in, like, I don't know, 8 hours or something. They took it down. Shut it down. Because it was the truth. When you get close to the truth, that's what they do, is shut you down.
Most definitely, guys, and I've been through that situation before, you know what I'm saying, with a previous channel. If y'all know me, if y'all remember in the, you know what I'm saying, out there, y'all, some of my supporters out there, you know what I'm saying, if y'all remember my old channel, you know what I'm saying, y'all can let them people know in the comment section, the new supporters, you know what I'm saying, out here on the new channel. But that's definitely true. When you get to, you know, get too close to the truth, they'll wipe you out, or, you know, try to discredit you, or you know, assassinate your character. You know, that's how they try to get you, you know. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about that down below in the comment section. Y'all thinking some truth to that, what he's saying about the element 115 and the pure oxygen?
See, the thing about the ice wall is, this is what separates us from extraterrestrial creatures and extraterrestrial lands. They tell you the real world map looks like this to divide us up and to make things look bigger than they are. But the real world map should look something like this. Each specific land has its own ice wall, and there are extraterrestrial lands and creatures outside of each specific land. The only reason they're coming out about aliens and ETs being real is only because ETs exist beyond the ice wall, not in space. And it's far more likely for ETs and other creatures to exist beyond this ice wall and to come to our land. And they know this, and this is why they have conferences about ETs, because they're not in space, they're beyond the ice wall, or really, really, really deep in the ocean. We're also in the age of Aquarius, so more information and unknown things will be shown to us. And they know that, they're just only preparing us for it.
It's crazy how they know for all, you know, what's to come and all this stuff. And a lot of it, they won't just spill it on us because they don't want to call it mass hysteria or hysteria, whichever word y'all prefer. You know what I mean? Or mass panic, you know? But it's crazy, man, because I think as the public, us people, we all one. Nobody's better than the rest. You know, we all the same. You know, except for the good versus the evil and the petties, you know what I'm saying? We don't rock with that, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, yeah, like, come on, man, we should all know what's going on and be all hip to game. I feel like, personally, that's my humble opinion, but y'all let me know what y'all think. I ain't seen no picture like that ever, no ice wall with no 90-degree angles, man. I don't know where the hell they got that from. I don't know if it was CGI, AI generated or what. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below about that one, and where y'all think that picture came from. And have y'all ever seen that picture? Because I definitely ain't never seen it.
This fucking terrified me.
Alrighty.
Crazy.
The first person to fly over Antarctica, Admiral Richard, and he had this diary. And in this diary, he said that he remembers Antarctica past this mountain having nothing but green grass and a forest. And he found this creature, and it was a huge fucking creature. And the weird thing is that he said that as he got closer, it was a mammoth. Now, how the fuck
What a mammoth.
would a mammoth green grass in Antarctica? And think about this, they basically closed off most, if not damn near all of Antarctica to the public today. So what the fuck were they hiding?
Man, well, not what the fuck were they hiding? What the fuck are they still hiding? We still can't go with that motherfucker like we want to. Y'all let me know what y'all think down below. What's really in Antarctica? I want everybody's humble opinion. Wherever you from, let me know where you from, and let me know What y'all think they hide in Antarctica? Let me know down below in the comment section. Don't be shy, don't be scared. I want every viewer on here to let me know what y'all think.
This video got 27 million views, and it shows what many people believe are duendes, a mythological creature that exists in South America that are said to be only a foot tall and go in hiding in little caves. However, the last clip just showed a tribe in South America, one of those that don't ever meet other humans ever. They were just some small children, they weren't actual duendes. Now this is what they supposedly look like, however this clip just has an actor. But here's a clip that's rumored to be real. These kids are in terror. No one can tell me that any kids are that.
Hold on, man, what y'all did in that situation? Your little midget, I ain't gonna say a midget, a little dende run out like that, man. Look like a little, what they call, look like a hobbit or a little elf, like run out like, not an elf, I guess.
Good of actors.
That's crazy.
And then there's this one that's kind of spooky. The mom has, you listen to that? The mom has some kind of triggered meme sound effect coming out of her mouth. Very strange. There are so many stories of people talking about small creatures stealing their money and food and living near their homes over in Mexico and South America. And it got me to thinking, like, why are there so many stories of these? And why are there so many weird creatures in these history books, just like the Blemmie here, that have been drawn in medieval times? Like, where are they going? Did they go hide somewhere, or why are there so many instances of this going on? And all this has got me thinking, perhaps these creatures were sick of humans killing them, so they sailed away to other lost continents.
The ice wall has actually been found. They filmed it. Watch this.
Then the ice starts to go from smooth to starting to break up here.
Like, where are we right now? What planet is this? Just take a full picture. I like how that Earth is meeting the glacier. See that interesting shape?
Oh wow, yeah. Making? Just mesmerized. I've never seen terrain like this.
It's so insane, isn't it? How? Because this is right at the edge of it. It's pools of water.
Oh, ice. Like cold. I don't even know what
Not like nothing you've ever seen, huh?
Nothing like nothing.
It blows away anything we've seen so far.
Oh man, the ice below us is that's like the Grand Canyon of ice.
Yep.
Just like blown away looking up at the walls and the peaks next to us.
You know they in jail. Y'all let me know, y'all think that was really Antarctica or not, man. I don't know. I can't tell you if it was or wasn't. Hey, now that's definitely a UFO. I don't know what y'all was thinking, man. At first, I was thinking that was like the center Earth hole, you know, to Avartha at first, but nah, that's definitely a UFO. I have to like pay attention, yeah. Boy, that's
Who built the wall in the show?
The first thing a lot of people say is, where's the edge? Well, look at this map where Antarctica is a 360-degree ice barrier that holds the water in. These ice walls are real, and they stand 150 feet above the surface of the water. Then you need to understand that there is no independent access to Antarctica. Average people can only go there on a guided tour. It has no towns, no cities, and no permanent residences. What's past the 150-foot ice wall is anyone's guess. How far the ice extends, how it terminates, and what exists beyond it.
We've seen so far.
Nobody know? I know somebody know.
Oh man, the ice below us is... That's like the Grand Canyon of ice.
Yep. Like how that Earth is meeting the glacier. See that interesting shape?
Oh wow,
it's
yeah.
making? Like, where are we right now? What planet is this? Just take a photo picture.
I'm just mesmerized. This is some humbling terrain.
To the Great Gorge. So if that cloud layer wasn't there, we'd be able to see straight up to Denali. Because this is right at the edge of it.
Super smooth in here. And I guess it should be. It's late at night, almost midnight. 10 minutes till midnight.
These pools of water.
Pool ice. Like cold. I don't even know what...
Man, is it me or did they just say 10 minutes to midnight and it looked like it was like broad day or like 2 or 3?
I don't even know what words are anymore. I can't talk. Got a little bit of precip here.
Yeah, I see that.
Just like blown away looking up at the walls and the peaks next to us. The ice starts to go from smooth to starting to break up here. And then it's just... Oh man.
Holy crap, man.
I was thinking up that way.
Up this way?
Yeah.
Like some land, some houses, structures.
Look at that left GoPro. Oh, that is rad.
Man, hopefully those guys made it back home safe and sound, man, with no problems, no issues, man. For sure, 'cause that was definitely a dangerous trip, man. Y'all, with that said, that's the end of the video, man. If y'all have made it this long with me, you know what I'm saying, made it this far with me, y'all appreciate it for y'all kicking it, you know what I'm saying, kicking it, you know what I'm saying, hanging with your boy, you know, showing me some more support and some love, man. You know, with that said, you know, shit, I'm gonna have to catch you next time, man. I got more work to do, man. I got to improve and, you know what I'm saying, to get some things in line. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Koozie. I'm out. Catch you next video.